Hello, welcome back to Tripod Talk, the official podcast of What Pictures, where we talk anything and everything about films or movies, depending on what you prefer to say. Though we do tend to... Okay, that's that bit. I'm your host, Matt Lister, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-hosts, Mr. Dylan Moore.
Hey, that's all I'm saying.
And Sophie Ellis.
Hi.
Hello, and we're going to be talking about addiction films, or
Hey.
films
With
about
some
addiction,
form.
with some
yeah.
form of addiction.
Yeah, we had to get pretty, extended with what counts as an addiction film, I guess.
So what does count as an addiction film?
Somebody's addicted to something.
There we go. So do you want me to start off with some film news?
You're the host, you decide.
All right. Well, we're going to go with some film news straight away. Okay. X-Men horror spin-off The New Mutants gets a terrifying first trailer.
Oh, yeah.
I hadn't even heard about that.
It just came out last night. At midnight they released it as well, which was a nice little touch. But it seems X-Men are just trying different things, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
It's got Maisie Williams in it from Game of
Hey.
Thrones,
Yeah.
a couple of unknowns who I don't know of, but it basically looks like, you guys haven't seen the trailer, have you?
No.
I saw it earlier today, and it does look quite good. It looks a little generic, but it's still something different within the superhero genre, so I'm quite looking forward to it.
Yeah, that sounds alright.
It's an interesting idea, that.
Yeah.
Worth a punt, I reckon.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I was excited about that. What I wasn't excited about was
Oh.
all this, have you heard all about the stuff to do with Harvey Weinstein?
Yes, briefly.
Yeah, well, Harvey Weinstein facing criminal investigations over allegations. A load of people have come out saying about different stuff, including Cara Delevingne,
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow as well. I can't remember a couple of these.
There is quite a lot of people.
Yeah. Any woman who's been in a film, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's like, yep, he tried to, touch me at one point.
Yeah.
Not you.
Not me.
Sure, not you, Adele.
Not me.
Have you ever heard of Screen Junkies on YouTube?
Yep.
Yeah, and they do like movie fights and stuff like that. Have you heard of a guy called Andy Signore?
No.
Well, he's the main guy in Movie Fights and is also the founder of the other creator of Honest Trailers. Have you ever seen one of them?
Yeah.
And he's basically been caught up in the same similar thing to Harvey
Oh,
Weinstein.
really?
Yeah, and quite a lot of people have been coming out against that as well.
Is that how big it is, though?
Yeah, like quite big because it's supposed to be with Defy Media.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been covering it up or just been trying to do things for like the last 2 months, and their HR's been like not doing anything about it until someone went public with it, and then they like publicly fired him.
It's a weird one to talk about because the issue with it is there's kind of if you give any guy that much power, there's a good percentage of them are going to do something fucked up with it that way.
Yeah.
And it's hard to really manage because if everybody's keeping it quiet, then everyone's keeping it quiet.
Yeah.
It's weird. I didn't realise the Cosby thing was the first time I realised that there's these just known things in Hollywood that people in the business know about, but the rest of the world don't.
It's like Savile, well, that all came
Yeah,
out as well.
all of these things are just people, apparently just people in the know about them. It's a bit weird.
Savile looks like a bit of a
Oh, he looked like a proper nutcase.
what fiddler.
Bit of a, okay, bit of a fiddler. Moving on. Speaking of fiddlers, no, I'm not. Seth Rogen says he couldn't deal with James Franco while shooting The Disaster Artist. Now, if you don't know what this film is, it's the reenactment or like the remake, essentially, of... Well, it's like a documentary kind of thing. Well, it's not. Okay,
Oh
I messed
God.
up. But basically, you know The Room, the film, the infamous film The Room?
Yes.
James Franco stars as the character who created and made that film, and yeah, the trailer looks quite weird because apparently, well, also seeing James Franco apparently was in character non-stop throughout the entire shooting of the film,
Yeah.
which is the reason why.
I think he might be one of the, do you know, in terms of those actors who have insane, techniques and stuff like that, you always hear crazy stories. I think he might be the worst actor out of them that I can think of. Because all the other ones have got, incredible films and, things behind him. But
Yeah.
I can't think of any, I mean, he's good in 127 Hours, but it still wasn't spectacular. I can't think of anything he's been amazing in. I kind of feel like you have to earn that crazy character stuff, and I don't think he's done there. Daniel Day-Lewis could, slaughter a family, and I think I'd still be on board with him, because he is that genuinely good, but I'm not seeing it from Franco,
No.
so stop fucking about.
Well,
Pumpkin arsehole. It's my message to James Franco.
Okay, hashtag Dill against Franco.
Oh, please. No.
Which Franco, we don't know. Just quickly.
Well, I'm also against Dave.
You're also against Dave?
I'm also against Dave because he's
Why?
married to Alison Brie, and fuck him for that.
Oh yeah, she's also in the film.
They're a good-looking couple, though.
Yeah, but he's a little smug-faced prick who's married to Alison Brie.
Right.
And
Hey, you
that's
can't be changing
all I
things.
say,
Dill
like-
for Brie.
I know. None of
No,
that.
people just think I'm into cheese as
Dill
well.
for Jen. I know.
Last piece of film news. This one was the one you just read before. Settlers of Catan movie adaptation in works at Sony.
You what?
Remember the game we used to play in college, me, Shane Delane?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated that.
Did they not realise from Battleship that board game films were not a good
That
idea?
is
I know.
stupid.
Yeah, don't know
Stop.
about any time coming out, but just apparently that film is in development.
Are people like so done with trying to come up with some form of original concept that now they just
Sorry. It's really weird having this thing here because I've just got that in my face.
Sorry, I can't
alright.
move it. Hey, people don't know what we're on about.
I was hoping we'd edit this bit out because it doesn't make any
You
sense.
go.
No, I won't.
Ah, fine.
But yeah, like are people that like lazy that they don't want to come up with a new concept rather than redoing animated films and board games and fucking emoji, which was going to be one of my suggestions just to piss you off, by the way, in future weeks.
Oh dear, don't you
No,
ever do
It
that.
may be one of them. Not this week.
Have you even seen it?
One of them. No, definitely
Yeah,
not.
good. That's alright then.
I'd probably hate
By
it.
the way, can you think of a board game movie that's done well? Because there was the World of Warcraft thing. I know that's not really a board game, but I'm just thinking of that kind of games, and I don't think that did that well.
Jumanji?
Was that the
Was
board
that
game
original
first, or
board
was-
game?
I
Oh,
feel
I
like they
don't know.
made the board game within the film.
Ah. okay.
Yeah.
Just like I'm trying to think why they've actually decided to make it because
I
it's
don't
not
know.
like there's one of them that's done well that I can think of.
Have they ever done
Yeah.
a Dungeons and Dragons?
No.
Do you think, if anything, they'd start off with that?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think that'd be too bad in comparison to that.
Hmm. What about Monopoly?
I was thinking Cluedo.
Actually, the best one.
Cluedo is a film.
Oh, is
been
it?
made. Yeah, it's actually a really good film. I've
Oh,
seen
is
that.
it?
Yeah.
Right.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Have you seen
Tim
it?
Curry.
Oh really?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
nice.
he was absolutely amazing in that film because he plays the butler. So
Mm.
he's the one going
he's
around in between,
perfect.
and he's got a monologue right at the end of the film that literally lasts for about 3 or 4 minutes straight, and he's phenomenal. I reckon we should watch that again because I love that film.
Have you seen the Community episode with? Have you seen any of
I've seen
Community?
Community.
Do you know the one with the different timelines thing where they roll the dice and
Oh,
it goes?
that is the best episode.
That might be. That's if you want to watch one random episode of a TV show, that'd be an
Yeah.
episode I'd recommend to anybody.
Mm.
It's really clever. So basically, they're having this little party type thing, and they're playing a board game. He goes to roll a dice, and like one of the characters says, "You know, every time you roll that dice, you're opening
Yeah, Abed
Six-
says it, doesn't he?
6 different timelines." And then they basically
Oh.
just play through the circumstances that happen on each roll. Because
Oh,
whoever
yeah.
loses the roll has to go and collect a pizza from outside.
Yeah.
And it's just things go to chaos, and they kind of make it fit through.
Yeah, because like certain characters will hook up and
Yeah.
it'd look weird, and then
I think it's mostly just looking into like how the change in a group when one person goes, because
Yeah.
there's like such a specific dynamic
Mm.
that when one person leaves, everything does kind of change a lot.
yeah, I swear I mentioned that to you at one point.
You've mentioned like a couple of different episodes of it to watch, but
Yeah, that's a fantastic one though.
Yeah, it really is.
If you want to spend 22 minutes.
oh, it's only
time,
22 minutes.
The
Wow.
community is really short. It's well worth seeing.
Yeah, so that's moving off films, but
Yeah, whatever.
I just kind of want to carry on this. What board games would you want to be seeing
Oh, God.
into films?
Board game into
Because I'd love to see a biopic of like the Monopoly dude, like going from rags to riches,
Yeah, I could see that.
like going like invest in different properties and stuff like that.
Or like a genuine like high stakes Monopoly where like if you don't win, you're homeless or like bankrupted or something. Like it could be really funny to have like a really dark, bleak Monopoly film where like basically 3 of the 4 people end up homeless, and then one guy's just like stood there like, because you know when you win Monopoly you're a complete twat about it.
Yeah,
He's just
spend
in
it
front of
on
him
that
like,
as well.
"Way!"
What about Kaplunk?
I thought a Kaplunk would never work.
What about that? What about the cheese one? The
The Mousetrap one?
yeah, the mousetrap one.
That could
That,
work.
that's a film.
Yeah, That'd be an awesome cat and mouse, like, kind of. It'd be a bit like Saw.
Would it?
You'd have to add a lot of levels to it.
Well, yeah. It's got to.
Not physical. Alright, fine, that works.
Yeah, we'll make it into a
That
Yeah.
works on multiple levels, yeah.
Hey!
There we go.
Get out.
Childhood flashback.
Lido.
No.
No, not Lido.
No, I'm not that bored. To be fair, I'm not that into board
Are you
games
not
in
that
general.
on board with it?
I'm not that on board.
Oh.
Speaking of puns.
Sudoku one. I mean, they just made it inside out, so clearly you can like give numbers personalities.
Oh no, don't do that.
You're not thinking about, you're not
No.
enjoying that.
No, that'd
One's
be
a
too
bit
much, because
arrogant.
then someone would.
Two's got like a
total
complex about the way that
or
things come second.
like a lonely complex, so he always wants to be with other people,
Yeah.
or looking for his perfect soulmate.
Seven's cool as fuck.
Right, guys.
Sorry.
Please, let's
This
move
is
on.
so random.
4 is like the mother
Oh.
character. It's like a family of 4.
Oh, nice. I'll buy that.
What would 6 be? Just like a lad. Unless a
A little
4
bit.
is like a whore, and then we're going into like.
What?
Yeah, because that's like a card game.
Going into Ring of Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ring of Fire, Ring of Life.
Matt, please, let's
All
move
right,
on.
okay, let's move on.
Ring
So,
of
well,
Life.
shall we go on to the draft?
Oh dear.
Yeah, let's go on to the draft.
Oh.
So,
Alright.
for anyone who hasn't listened before, hello, welcome to the podcast. And we do this weekly segment called the draft, where we basically get given a two of us get given a situation, and based on the we haven't even talked about the film yet.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that.
It's fine.
We'll talk about that later. But we're talking about addiction films this week, so we will be basing our characters from addiction films to get us through this situation, and whoever gave the situation in the first place decides who wins.
Yeah, and this is my
Yeah.
first week doing it, and I'm kind of paranoid. My situation's god awful.
It's fine.
But
Okay.
you guys will have to deal with it.
Okay.
So there's 3 characters. There's one bonus one. Character number 1 is just basically any character from one of these films who you'd want to have a blackout night out with, like The Hangover. So who would you actually want to go on a night out with and get absolutely mental and
Okay.
make some memories that you forget? So that's character 1.
Okay.
Character 2 is you need to give an intervention to someone you care about, and you've got to pick somebody from one of these films who you'd want to help you give an intervention.
Okay.
And character 3 is you're gonna have to drink every day for a year. So who you're gonna take? Who's gonna drink? Who's gonna be your drinking buddy for that year? And maybe we'll do that. And if I need to, we'll come back to the bonus one, or I'll just do the bonus one for fun at the end. But I don't want to overwhelm you. Not that I think you're thick or anything.
You have to drink every day for a year.
Yep, and this one person you're gonna have to drink with every day.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And just, we'll cut this bit out. The intervention thing, explain that a little bit more because I'm thick.
Alright, so basically somebody you care about has got a problem with drugs or drink, and you need to get somebody from a film to come in with you to talk to them, to tell them to get the shit together.
Okay.
Right.
So it's basically
then.
you're looking for a responsible person for one of these films.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Curveball.
Oh.
Wait, the intervention one is?
Yeah, but
Well,
responsible.
that's the logical way of going at it, but you could also go in a different direction if you wanted to.
Okay.
But it's basically just somebody you would want for one of these films if you were actually given a genuine intervention.
Oh, if you were the guy.
You giving the intervention
Oh,
to
2.
somebody you like.
Jesus, guys.
Sorry. I feel like am I overcomplicated this, or are you guys
No,
just...
we're
cool.
just sick.
Yeah, I'm buying that as well.
Right.
Oh.
Do you want to go first?
No, it's alright.
Alright, I'll go first. Right, well.
You can steal at least one of my carrots.
In fact, you're giving each other an intervention. You both get a secret drink problem, and you need to give the other person an intervention, and which character from a film would you want with you to help with each other specifically. So this way we
Okay.
can
Alright.
relate to each other.
Right, okay, so my party animal friend, the person who I want to go on a night out with and have the best night of my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to give that to to Nicolas Cage from Bad Lieutenant,
Alright.
because he is an absolute fucking nutcase. It's Nicolas Cage first of all, so his mannerisms are all over the place. He's on an assortment of different stuff, including cocaine, heroin. I don't know what else he's on. Starts hallucinating and stuff, so we're gonna have a popping time.
Alright.
He also, just in case we run out, we've also got the resources because he's a cop, so we can go into the evidence room and we can get a couple more supplies, stuff like that. so we can get our stuff on. So, who have you got as your party animal friend, Sophie?
I've gone for Al Pacino's
Harvey Weinstein.
Scarface.
Sorry, I couldn't miss that joke.
You what now?
I said you've gone for Harvey Weinstein.
Oh dear.
I'm finding these jokes really funny
dear.
myself. I mean, I couldn't give a shit. Sorry, go on.
It's alright. Yeah, Scarface. I mean, he doesn't do much, but he does a lot of cocaine. So I feel like that makes up for it. He has power over so many people, but if he
so chooses.
You what?
Eh? No, go on.
It makes
I don't
sense.
want to spoil the film. Because you've not watched it and I want you to watch it.
Can you not?
Yeah, no, there's no other way. But he has a load of guns.
He's influential. He's got,
Yeah. He's got guns, so if we wanted to go out and light up the streets, we could. He's rich beyond belief, so if we wanted to go out and pay some bitches, if we wanted to go out and pay some bitches, we could do. He attracts all the women. I mean, that's not good for me.
All the women, not older women.
Both.
Yeah.
Mainly younger though. And he's like really good friends with a lawyer and could get us out of shit if needed.
Oh,
So I feel like we've got guns, we've got the power, we've got the money, we've got the coke. We've got a good night going.
Yeah.
well, I've got guns as well. We've got access to
Nicolas Cage.
yeah.
Guns.
I've got access to Nicolas Cage himself.
You do also, like, he's a policeman, right? So
Oh,
if
yeah,
you do
yeah.
anything fucked up, you're walking out of there anyway.
Oh yeah, plus he gets away with murder,
Yeah.
literally.
Okay, because I haven't seen Bad Lieutenant. I'll complain about that. But I
Scarface
like the
gets
characters.
away with murder though.
You did do well with Scarface there, though. I thought you weren't going anywhere with it at the start, but you did pull it back.
Plus it's Al Pacino, my boy.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, so shall we go with the intervention?
Yup.
Okay, so Sophie, you've been a bad girl. You need to cut down on your cocaine.
Do I need the
Okay.
air for
You
this?
need- no. So me and my buddy Mark Renton, aka Ewan McGregor from Ewan McGregor from Trainspotting, are gonna sit you down and get you off the old heroin because
I thought she was on cocaine. Alright,
both.
she's mixed
She's on everything.
She's on it all.
Never mix your drugs, but basically he's been through the toughest thing in the world, getting off heroin, and he wanted to get out clean, which he did. So,
Spoiler.
oh well, maybe he didn't. I mean, there was a sequel 20 years later, but still.
Yeah.
So he's been through the worst. He knows exactly what the withdrawal symptoms are and how he can help you in that situation. So obviously I would want him with me in trying to get you on the right road again, because you need to stop doing what you're doing.
It's not an advert.
Hey, nice foreshadowing.
So you going with that?
Yeah, Marky boy. Mark
Marky boy.
Renton.
Nice.
Okay. Well, for my intervention,
I can already see the lack of faith in this.
he'll do well. Harlan Mays, which is a character in Flight played by John Goodman.
Oh,
So
Big Johnny.
when Denzel Washington ends up being drunk right before an important meeting, he's called to give him a certain amount of cocaine to sober him up. So
Yeah.
he comes with this big briefcase and he's got everything that you need to sort of interlink drugs to make sure it's sobered out.
Mm,
And you can't really pick it up unless you did like a drug test sort of thing.
okay.
So, I mean, I've not approached it where you would quit, but you can get away with
I
it.
was going to say, yeah, the
Alright.
one guy you wanted as an intervention is the one who has all the drugs.
Yeah.
He does. But it's for leveling it out. It's not as if, like, because Denzel wasn't hooked on cocaine just because he took cocaine. He did it to level him out.
So you're
And-
thinking chemically this person can help bring him back.
Yeah,
Okay.
because, I mean, you didn't see him fly that plane, but he did it very well after taking cocaine, so, you know.
I mean, that's
Parts
not
of the
what
world.
they put on. They don't put that on the leaflets at AA.
Oh, God.
Okay, so we'll go with my friend who I have to drink with every single day.
For a year.
Oh,
for
I
a
feel like
year.
we're going to pick similar ones.
No, I'm going to pick my mate Jordan Belfort, Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to pick him as my party guy, but I thought I'd rather have him around me all the time Because we can go and do anything that we please. We can go
Please.
sit on the yacht, have a quiet drink. We can go out partying on lewds. We can do whatever we want for a year.
Partying on lube then. Is that if you want?
Both.
Plus, we're both going to make a mint in for that year as well. So,
Okay.
I mean, I've got a firm established position in the company by that point as well. We're great friends. We invite each other around for barbecues. It's great.
Cool.
Oh, you pissed all over mine for that, I think. Drinking with every day. Oh dear.
Well, what I'll do then is I'll tell you the bonus one now, and you can think about it for a minute or so before.
Okay.
And then you have to actually do it. So for this bonus one, I was thinking, I want make like a compelling case about like which one of a character that in a film that you've seen doing like a hard drug, so not just alcohol, like cocaine, heroin, whatever,
Yeah.
and has made it seem most like you think's most tempting portrayal of it in a film.
Ooh, okay.
So what's been like you kind of watched it and been like, oh, that does maybe if things reach a new low.
Oh, that's good.
I've already got mine.
Oh dear. Right, okay, so for drinking, I'm going to go for Whip, which is Denzel Washington's character. Because, I mean, I'm going to spoil the end of the film. He's in prison. But if he wasn't, he's a skilled pilot, even with alcohol in the system. Like we said, he can have cocaine. I'm really falling back on this. But he knows a way to like crack a hangover because he goes to work every day after drinking heavy amounts. So I'd never have to suffer a hangover considering we're drinking every day.
Smart.
I could go on the plane with him if I was with him every day, so I could travel all over the place.
Ooh.
And he has connections with people within the law. I can't remember his character. The one that plays his representative is a character in Avengers. And for the life of me.
What, the guy who plays the agent, the normal guy who dies?
No.
No,
the...
Paulson or Coulson or something?
No, he plays... it's not even Falcon.
You mean the ones from DC?
Fuck you.
It's a throwback.
I know. Throwback episode.
I'll show you who I mean later. But either way, free holidays.
Yeah.
I trust him enough because he said that he was the most skilled, like no one else would be able to fly a plane that way. He is very intellectual. And, you know, he handles his alcohol well. It's not as if he's angry. He doesn't, like, go on an outburst. He does just does normal life stuff. But drinks a fuckload and still has a good time.
Wow, that's Dens.
It is Dens. So I've got Dens, John Goodman.
Did that film annoy you with the fact that the first scene is him with an incredible, like, 25 years younger than him woman?
It was just weird.
It wasn't really necessary either.
No, it
was just
wasn't.
like, why does she have to be incredible looking? It's not really required.
It was for like 2 minutes as well, and then the rest of it, and then he ended up with like this weird...
I think it was just like, probably for the trailer, just to have the shot of like her
Her,
arse from
yeah.
behind. It would have been more effective if it was some like 18 stone like rugby player and he woke up and he was like, what the fuck?
I know, yeah.
I like that pick though. You did pull out the I was ahead on Matt there, but I like the way you took the Denzel one. So I think I'm gonna use this bonus round as my decider.
Oh,
just to put some pressure on.
Oh dear. Well, I'm going to go with an old classic way of making a very sexualized looking drug, which was heroin. Was it heroin? Wait, it was heroin. Yes, it was John Travolta's character in Pulp Fiction. The way that he shoots up in the car and just the way it pulls up slowly. It was quite a seductive, quite intimate way that it was shot as well. So not that I would ever do heroin, but it just made it look quite...
It made it seem totally normal as well, I guess. Well, not normal, but like people didn't react to it weirdly. It was just a dude clearly out of his mind, just running around LA or wherever it's set. So I do like that one.
Yeah.
Got yourself?
Yeah. Is it a particular character or like a film that inspires?
I mean, I suppose it's mostly the film, but there's a lot. Yeah, just go for a film.
Oh dear, she's coughing. What
Thanks
picture's
for the update.
exclusive?
I'm pretty sure they'd know I'm coughing.
Girl coughs on recording.
The film I'd probably say is Candy that I watched the other day. Have any of you seen it?
No.
Sorry, can I just quickly, I wanted to put up a punchline to
Oh, God.
hashtag Harvey Weinstein turned on.
I really like
Bless
the
you.
Weinstein jokes, and I've resisted like 4. I'm being mature.
Sorry, I wasn't then. Go on, please, Soph.
It features Abby Cornish and Heath Ledger, and it starts off as them like as a couple and they're spinning and they just look so happy, like with everything going on about them, even though it's just a mess. And he is a poet and she does art in her spare time, so they're like two things that I like anyway. And it just shows that it completely releases everything in the brain, and then instead of them thinking I probably shouldn't write that, it just allows them to express everything. And then there's a part in the film where she writes on every part of the wall in the house about how she's feeling about him when they were trying to get sober, but it all spilled out, and I think that's...
Yeah, I think she's
That's
just crushed
sort
you,
of-
Matt. Like,
Thanks.
Made it very personal and kind of took it there. I like that. The artistic expression that people can get from drugs is a real
Yeah.
thing, so I think, I like that angle. I'm giving this week to Sophie.
Oh,
The only one I will win.
First victory.
Well, congratulations.
First
I
and last.
did think you had it to through the main ones, but I like the bonus.
Pulled it back
I
in the
like
last
I like
two
the
there, I
flight.
think.
Oh, hey, excuse me, Scarface is a banger on a night
A
out.
bit more imaginative.
Yeah.
Alright.
So yeah,
It
cool.
is guns and hoes. Guns and hoes.
Should we talk
Guns
about
and
the film?
hoes. Yeah, we should actually talk about the film.
Didn't stop you
That
doing
was-
that.
Mainly, yeah. But yeah, we usually do a review of what was suggested last week in order to get us into the topic of what we're talking about as well. And Dill suggested...
A film called Smashed with Aaron Paul and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Aaron Paul, bitch. Winstead, she is like in Scott Pilgrim and stuff. She was in 10 Cloverfield Lane. And it's made by a director called James Ponsoldt, who's doing a lot of kind of... Every film he's made's been better and better. Like Spectacular Now and stuff. And I like the fact that it's one of his earlier films. What did you guys think of it?
I thought it was great. I thought it was very good character work. I thought it was great acting. It was good range from Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I love an Aaron Paul bitch.
He did.
He got it in. Yeah, he dropped a few in. It was fantastic. Yeah, no, I thought it was really good in the way that it just kind of showed real life. And just normal people trying to get on with like the curveball right at the beginning. The fact that well, it's not spoilers, but the fact that she's a school teacher. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
this is what's going on. All right, wow. And then just like seeing how responsibility is going to build up, and then you can kind of crush someone's life. Yeah, no, responsibilities crush people's lives. That's the
Right.
moral of the story. But yeah, no, that was good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Is his name Nick Offerman?
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
that got me.
His face when he first turned up, and then halfway through I was like, they're gonna bang. Just as the thing, and he's like, no, no, no. And then when he said that like inappropriate thing,
Yeah.
I was just like,
It was amazing.
oh, he's ruined it. I liked him, but like,
Yeah, we'll
it's
talk
something.
about that later.
Yeah, it's something that you don't really see coming, but it's interesting to throw that in because not everyone is like nice and stuff.
Well, it comes from a place of anxiety as well. It's like he doesn't know how to talk to women.
Yeah.
So he was like, I guess he'd seen that in a film or he'd read on some like fucking nut, like some stupid magazine that the best way is to be direct, and like he thought that would work. Like I almost thought it as like a kind of endearing thing. Like, he doesn't know what to say, so he just said something fucked up.
Yeah, but I believe the quote is, I want to fuck you in your voice, pussy. So,
I skipped it when he said it because I knew it was coming and I couldn't listen to it again. So I don't know what he actually said.
yeah, it's interesting though. Like, that, if we're going back to the draft, the way that she was when she was laughing and stuff, that made me miss drinking. Like, I've never been in that state to where I'd like pee myself in a shop.
Yeah.
But the way that she sort of portrayed it and having that much fun, that sort of makes you miss that side of drinking.
Yeah.
I think.
Because that's the thing is like, I suppose it's one of those things about alcoholics that they don't really want to talk about, is that like you do have a great time when they drink, but it's just not, they've got to accept that and then kind of realise that it's not right overall. So I think the film is really representative of what it really is. Like you have good times and then you have hiccups, but I think it does a really good job of introducing characters as well. So like the fact she's pissed the bed at the start and how casually they both react to it.
Yeah.
And that puts you straight away in a place of like, oh my god, how would I react if somebody did that?
Yeah.
And how are these guys living if they're like that? And even with Nick Offerman, like, do you know, I think they introduce him at lunch together and they sat across the table.
Yeah.
And they're not saying anything and they're doing the little glances that everybody kind of does when they're that uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just a really subtle way of, like, making you understand their dynamic. Like, they're on speaking terms, but they're not friendly. They don't really have anything in common. He doesn't know what to say to her.
Yeah.
She's kind of fucked up and doesn't really want to try.
Yeah, it was messed up that she said she had a miscarriage to her children. But then again, it shows that people could lie to so much of an extreme just so they don't admit they have a problem. Because that goes on all the time.
Yeah.
So
I think they did a good job of that moment. Like when she first said she was pregnant, like it held on it and it kind of, she showed a lot of her thought process in her face.
Yeah.
And, like, you could see the lie, but how do I get out of this? And then what else? Just say, yeah, this will work. Whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, it was nice that it wasn't like a specific thing in the film either. It's just like this thing that just kind of casually kept happening every now and then. It's like, oh shit, this thing's going on.
Yeah.
So
I think it got into a lot of stuff as well, like her mum and the mum being a drinker,
Yeah.
and like I think that's a big part of it for a lot of people, like just the childhood and the way they're brought up.
Yeah.
And when she kind of has meth by accident, when she's ranting about like she looks like she's middle class but she's ready from nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell she's got such a complex about the way she appears to the world, and that's all part of it.
Yeah.
Like, because when she's drunk, she's not overanalyzing herself, she's just drunk.
I'm wearing the same clothes for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
yeah.
And what do you think of the ending? And the way Aaron Paul was to her and the way she was to him and stuff like that?
The ending dragged out for me a little bit because
Yeah.
there was a point where I was like, oh no, when she went to the bar and she drank the shot and had another one, and I was like, oh, it's going to end there. And then it carried on for what, like another 20 minutes?
Yeah, I thought it was going to end in the AA. You know, the
I
bit
thought it
where
was
it's
after
like
her
side by side.
monologue.
Yeah.
That's when I thought you'd cry, by the way.
Didn't cry.
Did you not
You
cry?
cried a bit, yeah. Didn't
Oh,
cry.
I thought you cried.
Matt said you
No,
cried.
I cried at
What, the credits?
both of the others.
I'm 2 for 3. That's all right.
Wait, actually,
You
I think
might.
you did cry.
I didn't cry at that bit though.
What bit did you cry at? There's a lot of bits you could have cried at, to be fair.
No, I didn't. I cried at Ramsey last night. Don't lie.
You cried at Gordon Ramsay, but you didn't cry at my film.
Right, no,
This
honestly.
is bullshit.
It was,
I'm queer.
it was family stuff. It got deep. No, that was. Yeah, no, I didn't cry at the film.
So what do you think the story was, Soph?
What do I think the story was?
Well, what happened in the film?
Well,
Talk us through it. Spoiler alert.
Kate and what's his name? Kate and
Oh shit.
Oh, what's it, Dan?
Nah.
no, it's not Dan.
Alright, well, fuck you guys. Sorry.
I've got no suggestion. Kate and Aaron Paul.
Yeah, that's what I was calling him for.
Right, Mary and Aaron. We're having that.
Mary and Alan. Who's Alan?
Aaron.
Aaron.
They're a couple and they're both alcoholics, and a lot of the time it's just spent around them drinking together and doing things drunk together, like riding a bike down the street, which looks fun to me.
Yeah.
Irresponsible but fun. And then they spend a lot of the time just sort of, even with friends, drinking and stuff, and then she decides, after throwing up in front of a classroom full of children, that she wants to get sober, and then she tries the first time. But I can't remember, why did she relapse the first time?
I think it was just because she was in that like environment with her boyfriend.
Was it?
I don't think so.
No, I don't. Either way, she relapsed and she said that.
It was after she only relapsed once after she got sacked.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh,
remember
she got
she
sacked.
came clean to her boss that her boss was like super.
Oh yeah, so she was sober for God knows how long. She saw a mum who she hadn't seen in ages, who she'd been paying checks to.
Yeah, I've never got.
It did.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, because he was saying that how he was like wealthy and his parents did all right,
Mm.
and then they were saying about they provided for him and said that her mum couldn't. So I think they were paying her checks so she could live.
Yeah, they send money to her so she can like survive in that
Yeah.
facility type thing she was at.
But then she went to go and see her mum to get some sort of support because she'd been sober, and then her mum was just making remarks saying that it won't last because of her dad and because of her.
He wouldn't quit.
Yeah, he refused to quit, so then she went... she confessed that she wasn't pregnant after... Oh, I hate
Doing
describing
this.
these films. This is stupid, I can't stand
We should
it.
probably just describe our own films from now. No, actually, maybe not. I don't think that.
Do you want to do it?
No, okay.
She confesses that she's not pregnant to her boss, she gets fired. She goes off on one, says that she can't get sober while she's with her boyfriend.
Sorry, I was trying to time that in while you paused.
And then fast forward, she's been sober for a year. She's moved out from her husband's house, and she goes and plays some games with him, and he's still trying to get her to come back, and she won't. And then he continues just being pissed out of his face all the time, and she's moved on to do whatever else. Wasn't it? Was that how it ended?
Well,
No,
she
it
says
ended with a cliffhanger of like he was like, "Do you mind if we just go out on one date or something?" And then it could.
No, he said one more game, right? She said no to a date,
Yeah.
and then he said one more game, and then it has like a long shot on her face. And I took from that she was going to say no.
Yeah, me too.
You see the like uplift a little bit where she's like maybe, but then she realizes like I can't. If I commit to one game, I might end up committing to a whole lot of bad shit happening. So I think she walks, but it doesn't tell you.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a couple that are alcoholics, and one wants to get sober but can't while they're with the other one that's still drinking.
Yeah, and
So
it's a thing. It's a thing as well. Like you don't think about it, but if you were trying to get sober and your partner wasn't, and that was kind of the thing that first got you together, it's gonna put a strain on your relationship, and you've kind of got to choose like them or the sobriety.
yeah, because it would change it, because the things that you both found funny, if you're sober and they're just laughing at something, you're just going to get more irritated.
And their relationship seemed to be super based on alcohol as well.
Yeah.
Like they got along fine when they weren't drunk, but that was just because they were always drunk.
Yeah.
She's taking like slugs of whiskey at work and stuff like that.
Well, I was saying it's nowhere near the seriousness of the comparison, but like with healthy eating, right? How like one of us could want to do really well, and then the other person, like they could be eating healthy for like 2 weeks, and the other person could just want to get a pizza in, and then that throws someone else back in the loop.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I know that's nowhere near
No,
as
it's the
harsh
same
as
mental
like
thing though.
yeah.
Like just the same process.
So you both have to be in that process together, otherwise it's more intoxicating for you to try and do it.
Yeah, and like she says in the speech, like there's a lot of boredom. You do have a lot of less fun in your life. She gets a job that pays less.
Yeah.
So there's obviously like it's a doubtful situation, but she does decide that it's best for her.
Yeah.
So it's like I like that it seems to be very real to me. Like there's no like everything gets better and there's no propaganda to it. It's just she had a problem. She's trying her best to deal with it, and she's going to continue to try her best.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, it was a really good recommendation. I
Yeah, I
really
like
enjoyed
that.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it because I wasn't too sure, but I did think it was a really good film.
Yeah, I was nervous about the addiction films because I didn't really see any. And the only ones that I had seen was The Candy and Flight, which I watched before Smashed, actually.
Yeah.
Just to get like a broad, so then on Flight it was alcohol, Smashed it was alcohol, and then Candy it was heroin.
That's a big jump.
It is, yeah. But like even in addiction films, it shows because the couple tried to go sober when she figured that she was pregnant. So they tried to like go cold turkey, and that is still hard to watch on a film because like going through like their spasms and their sweats, and they can't sleep, and they're getting angry, and they're getting.
Well, you're not meant to when you're pregnant either. You're meant to keep like either on methadone or keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
The baby's addicted.
Well, they were like they'd gone sober for so long, and then she was getting angry because she was like running towards the heroin because she just wanted it, and he held her down, and then she ended up having a miscarriage. And it shows that even though it's all this happy ending of someone getting sober and stuff, bad shit can still happen.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, just because you get sober doesn't mean that everything fits into place.
Just
and
me.
then, oh god, that film. Cried my heart out at that film.
I've just made a mental note that next time I'm like hungover and feeling sorry for myself, I'm gonna watch the withdrawal thing from Trainspotting.
I was just thinking about
You're
that.
fine, mate. Just,
As soon as you were
still
talking
got
about
cancer, man, stop
people getting used to, withdrawal symptoms and stuff, just watch that film.
yeah, Trainspotting's a harrowing fucking.
I feel like it'll ruin Ewan McGregor for me though.
No, he's still a good boy. Have you ever seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
No.
That is a fucked up film.
I know Tobey Maguire's in that in something you super wouldn't expect him to be.
Mm.
Like
I can't remember what
he's
it
like
is
a
in. I
bald
just
and
remember.
he's a crazy hitchhiker type thing.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's been that long, I can't remember, but it's just this one scene where he's completely mashed up his face. Johnny Depp, by the way. And there's a bit in a restaurant that kind of sticks out because he starts to hallucinate and everyone becomes like dinosaurs and really weird like creatures and stuff. So it's just this massive restaurant hall with all these different creatures, and he's just like, just going around trying to react to this stuff. But you also see it from like the other person's point of view, and everyone's just normal around him.
See, I'm very on and off with films like that sort of show hallucinations. Especially, I understand why they do it to make you sort of in that scenario, but it sort of throws me out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The only film that does it is, I think it's called, is it One Last Night? The comedy Christmas film with Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt that I wanted to recommend.
Yeah.
And there's just scenes with Seth Rogen on a load of different drugs, and you see what he's seeing in like a comedic way. But I think if it's in a serious way, it pulls me out of the seriousness quite a lot.
I mean, I think the reason I like these addiction films is like I think you can have a really good character films in there and really good performances and stuff like that. Like. I don't know if you've seen any of these, but there's films like Half Nelson is a Ryan Gosling film. Where, again, he's a secondary school teacher who's got a drug problem.
Right.
And it's super kind of subtle and weird, but again, that got a lot of approval. It's a film called Shame as well, with Michael Fassbender, where he has his dick out for most of it. Again, well done by the way. But like again, that's another really, really fucking good like just character piece. And then even like early DiCaprio's Basketball Diaries. So
yeah, I've read about that.
That's a really kind of weird but good film. Like, and it's always good to see. I think it's cool to see actors when they're teenagers and how good they are and stuff like that. Because a lot of them, like Ryan Gosling's got a lot of good indie films in him as a teenager. So does Joseph Gordon-Levitt about addiction and stuff like that. But there's a lot of to be said for going back through an actor's catalogue, I think, and picking out some stuff that's well reviewed that you might not have heard of before.
I can't think of any right now.
Well, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, for example, has got a film called Mysterious Skin is one of them, where he's like a hustler. I think he works as like a prostitute a fair bit and stuff like that. But he's like, again, like 16 odd, and he does it's a really interesting character. Things like that. Like Ryan Gosling did a film called United States of Leland, where he's basically got some learning difficulties and he ends up killing a kid because the kid asks him to kill him. The kid's mentally ill, Gosling's just weird.
Right,
and,
okay.
And the kid's like, the kid begs him, his girlfriend's little brother asks him to kill him, and he does.
Shit.
Just because in his head, he couldn't make the kid continue surviving because it'd be such an awful thing to do to him.
Yeah.
But just like, that's more the general point, I guess. Just looking for indie films good actors did when they were younger and seeing how they've moved on.
Speaking of one, which I'm surprised has not been come up yet in terms of addiction films, it's probably the highlight of addiction films, Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
I know you've not seen it yet.
No.
But
that's got some hallucinations in there that might annoy you. I did enjoy the hallucinations in it. Do you remember the mum in the TV show and stuff?
Oh,
I don't remember it too well. I watched it once, like 10 years ago, but I just remember it threw me off the whole time. His mum, basically, her addiction is to game shows, and she starts to imagine herself in a game show with the host and things like that. And it makes a good point that like you can get addicted to stuff that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, and it just well, she's also addicted to like painkillers.
Oh yeah, maybe that's I don't remember.
But it's just like seeing it's because it's also got Jared Leto in it as well. Before he was quite big.
Jennifer Connelly's in it.
Jennifer Connelly, and also I was saying to Soph before as well, the first ever. Well, for me, it's the first ever serious Marlon Wayans film that he's been in.
I need to take a bit of a look in, then I don't remember that.
And he is a great, well, they're all great characters in that, but it's just the deterioration of these like fall bright kind of people into this dark,
because they're all intelligent
world.
Kids as well. Because again, I think people have a perception in their head that people on heroin are all like kind of lower class. The parents on heroin, they didn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like kind of intelligent, well brought up people who just gave in to the temptation and then they couldn't really, it's not something you can extricate yourself from, or they didn't want to.
Yeah.
I think it's good, like films do a good job of just reminding people of those, like, even Smashed with the woman being the leading character.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot when people think about alcoholics, they think men, not women.
Yeah.
But in fact, I'm sure in general, like, there's more women who are alcoholics than men within certain kind of ranges of salary and shit like that.
Yeah.
So that's a kind of good side of just showing it in places you don't expect.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the film. Have you ever seen Blow?
No.
That's a good film. Play Johnny Depp again. He plays I can't remember the guy's name. Something Young. George Young, or George Chung, who basically was...
Johnny Depp's probably not Chung, right?
Yeah, but he's basically Pablo Escobar's right-hand man, and it's a biopic as well, which I know it's kind of like crime. We talked about blending of genres before, but it's a true story of this guy who basically imported 85% of America's cocaine in the 70s.
Fuck.
And there's just this one scene that I always remember where he became so rich and powerful that there's literally just rooms in his house full of dollar bills. And he just keeps walking through, and it's just like mounds of it all over the place. It's just like ridiculous.
Well, did you know like Pablo Escobar had to write off millions per year on rats eating cash he'd hide in buildings? Like millions. He had so much money hidden that he'd lose millions each year just to rats eating away at the cash.
No way.
Like those guys were fucking raking it in because again they were the first people on it, and there wasn't any processes in place to stop them.
God.
But yeah, I do recommend that film just because it's another kind of classic deterioration of this one character you see built up, kind of going back down again. Not that also, it's a young performance by Emma Roberts.
Oh really?
Yeah, kid Emma Roberts.
Have you seen Boogie Nights?
No.
Again, the addiction isn't central in that, but it's kind of more just a way of showing his deterioration. But that's another really, really good film, really good director. It's about like the LA porn industry in the 70s. Mark Wahlberg plays like a really naive kid who's just got a monster schlong.
Alright.
He gets into porn, and kind of like he starts as a naive kid, he gets kind of egomaniac, gets into drugs because of the time it was at, starts to go downhill, and it's kind of a really good, it puts you in the environment so well that like you wouldn't expect it.
I think that's what I like mainly about addiction films, in how well you can not necessarily relate to the characters, but at least the situations they're in and kind of feel for what they're going through.
Yeah.
Because not like you can relate on such a personal level, unless you have been like an addict to certain things that you see on screen. But just the way that you kind of see these people go through everyday life.
It just helps everyone have empathy about it, doesn't it? Like that's why I think people should always be on, like, I don't know, I think it's a good thing to watch things like this because you can get wrapped up in your own shit and forget about the things other people are going through. So I just think these kind of films are good just to give you a bit of perspective. Plus it's nice as well, like, say you're feeling like you're not doing too well at the moment, you can watch one of these and be like, well,
it could be worse.
Yeah, no needle marks, that's a plus. Like, I can swallow solid food.
I'm not dead.
Yeah.
Yes, just to name a few. Right. Is there anything else you want to talk about addiction films?
No.
No.
Do we know what we do next week?
Yeah, I had a brief idea, but I think it's some...
Sorry.
My God. I think it was something that you wanted to do, so I'm not sure.
Wait, go on, what is it?
Musicals?
Yeah, go for it. I'm not that
You
arsed.
sure?
I can come up with something else in a heartbeat.
Cool.
Unless it's a bad musical, then I'll
I
rescind
think
that
you'll like
request. Alright, cool.
Alright. Well, I'll just round us off with a film tip of
Nice.
the week.
Okay.
Yeah, is that alright?
Yeah.
It's mainly because we've just, the company has just invested in a GoPro, which we'll be shooting an advert at the weekend, which is going to be really fun to do.
Yeah.
But I've been playing a lot around with the visual settings on that, and it's just kind of reminded me to kind of get this message out there. So if you've got a camera, always try and shoot in the lowest ISO possible, because the higher the ISO on your camera, the more light it takes in. So basically just like the brighter the image is, but then you can't really edit it as well. So the lower it is, the better it is to kind of work with in raw footage. The only thing is you just got to make sure you light well, because otherwise if it's too dark, or if it's too low of an ISO and you're in a dark room, you're going to get a load of grainy spots, which is when it just kind of seems to move in the background. So yeah, just always try and keep your ISO low when you're shooting, is my film tip of the week.
Very nice.
And also, if you do listen to this and you have gotten this far again, congratulations, listener. But yeah, look out for an advert that'll be coming out, because we're doing one for the commercial side of What Pictures, which is going to be fun.
And you can find us at...
Oh, we segued into
Go
it.
on.
Are we done? Are we finished for the week?
I need to recommend a film.
Oh, you need to recommend film.
Recommend
You really
film,
don't want to
so-
hear my film. God.
God.
Well, the theme that I wanted to go for, the genre next week, was musicals.
Oh, dare you.
Hey,
Draft's not
someone.
going to be fun, is it?
No, it's not.
It's going to be like...
Choose your quartet.
I am going to recommend, I can't remember whether I've made you watch it, Moulin Rouge.
No,
Hey. Nicole Kidman looks banging in it. Ewan McGregor is.
Looks banging as well.
He's a banging
Yeah.
lad.
It's a very heartbreaking but very.
I'll buy that. I like Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
She seems fun.
Yeah, she's great in this, and she walks around mainly in corsets, so you'll love it.
Thank you.
It's alright. Tailored for
Back
Dill
on
this week.
board.
Hashtag Cole for Dill.
Oh, no.
No, Dill for Cole. Cole for Dill.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. Can you
She
imagine?
loves the young men.
But I do hope you like it. It does tell more of a story rather than breaking off into song every couple of minutes. It is a really deep storyline.
I'm sure it was one of those that when it came out as well, it got a fair bit of credit for the husbands liking it as well as the wives and shit like that, just to be overall sexist about it, like reviews are.
Yeah, and it's Baz Luhrmann.
Oh, Bazzy.
Baz boy.
Baz boy.
That's fun.
So
where
where can
can they
people
find
find
us,
us?
Matt?
Oh no!
you got it before. This is their time to leave as well.
Right, okay, so, well, again, thank you very much for listening, first of all. I think we should thank the listeners.
Quite cool, man.
I'll wait till after.
Oh, she's waiting, right, okay, so, where can you find us? You can find us on YouTube, you can find us on SoundCloud, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So I ruined Dill's counting method there. Yeah, we've got all the royalty free up on the YouTube and SoundCloud if you want to, and also on the website as well. The website's had some work, so if you want to go check out www.wehaveatripod.com, yeah, you can see everything that we do there. I'm Matt Lister from What Pictures.
I'm a Dylan Moore.
I'm Sophie Ellis.
And yeah, that was Travel Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do the most subdued ending ever.
Yeah, okay. Bye.
See ya.
Not being
You're
a
not
part
getting
of
involved
that.
in this.
Nope.
But you're not getting involved in this.
People love whispering.
Makes
We
them
should do a
comfortable.
whispering episode for quiet films. It's a silent film.
Bye.
Okay, see ya.
See ya.
Yeah.